'Cause I know something juicy. Oh.
Is this confirmation that Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken Urker are no longer together?
Lifetime just dropped a sneak peek trailer for the second and final season of Gypsy, Life After Lockup, and it's already stirring up some serious drama. If you thought last season was messy, buckle up because Gypsy is back, and this time, she's got something to prove. But is she proving she's a better mother, or just playing a competitive game? Let's break it down. First things first, Gypsy made it clear she's determined to show she can outdo her own mother in the parenting department. While that sounds like a noble goal, it raises red flags. Instead of focusing on being a nurturing, loving mom, Gypsy seems more fixated on making motherhood a personal competition. This isn't about pouring love into her baby, it's about proving she can be better than Dee, her own mother. And let's be real, when motherhood turns into a rivalry, that's a recipe for disaster. But the drama doesn't stop there. Allegedly, according to Christy, Gypsy's actions aren't exactly backing up her bold claims. Christy has been telling anyone who will listen that Gypsy isn't stepping up as a mom. She's reportedly refusing to feed the baby at night, skipping diaper changes, and leaving most of the parenting duties to Christy herself. If Gypsy's trying to prove she's a better mother, she's certainly not winning over her critics. Adding fuel to the fire, Gypsy's sister, Mia Blanchard, recently dropped some wisdom on her. Mia reminded Gypsy that being pregnant doesn't mean she needs to rush into marriage. Well, that's solid advice. It's clear Gypsy has a lot more to figure out, not just about marriage, but about what it truly means to be a mother.
I'm labeled a loose woman, a hoe. I've already seen comments online of people saying that it should have been a condition of my parole to get my tubes tied. The test is less for the public and more for Ryan to say, hey, dude, you're not the father. Accept it and move on.
What? 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 You do understand that people are calling you a loose woman because you are putting out in the public that you're exactly that, a loose woman. You are putting out that you had to get a paternity test to prove that your husband is not the father of your child. You are making yourself look like a loose woman. You are showing the entire nation from your show that you are a loose woman. So don't cry victim to a narrative that you put out there. Sweet cheeks, I'm just saying, there's that. People didn't come up with this all on their own just to be bullies. They got it from you because that's what you showed us. So
You'd think marriage would come first, but nope, Gypsy threw the playbook out the window. Ken even admitted he wished she'd waited until the papers were signed, leaving everyone wondering if he had any say in this pregnancy at all. Rumors are flying that Gypsy planned this baby to lock Ken down, which might explain his not-so-subtle hostility. But let's be real, Ken wasn't exactly an innocent bystander here. He could have hit pause instead of playing along. Adding to the drama, Gypsy had a tearful moment on camera, admitting she feels guilty that Ken had to change his life for her. Word on the street is he's been throwing it back in her face, which is not a good look. Gypsy also confessed she doesn't want Ken to feel forced to stay just because of the baby, but actions speak louder than words, especially when you rush into couples counseling this early. Ken's confusion is valid. Why the counseling when the baby hasn't even arrived yet? Gypsy's reasoning. She thinks it's the only way to keep Ken from walking out, which, spoiler alert, feels inevitable. And here's the kicker. If Ken leaves, he better lock down custody of that baby. Allegedly, Gypsy's emotional state might not be the healthiest environment, and there's real concern she could project her heartbreak onto the child. Meanwhile, in the parallel universe of drama, Ryan and Pixie are back this season, and Ryan's still sobbing over losing his best friend. Let's set the record straight. Gypsy wasn't his best friend. She wasn't even a good friend or a good wife. Friends don't betray you and then walk away like that, let alone a loving wife.
Gypsy Rose's paternity test. I have some information and I want to share because I want everyone to have all of the information, not just a piece. So Lifetime just put out a teaser trailer for the next season of Gypsy's show. They show Ken getting his mouth swabbed, presumably for the DNA test, and it got me thinking, who collects these samples and who sends them in? So I called my local laboratory. Mind you, the protocol is the same with these labs. She told me that the kit comes to me through the mail, through the diagnostic center, or I can buy one at Walmart or CVS. For the prenatal maternal testing, it has to be a red stuff sample. So that has to be at a collection site. The father sample could literally be anything. Y'all, they have, you know what, BUTTS on there. That's an example of what you can send. I said, okay, so regarding the father, I bring him in to get the sample and y'all collect it. She said, yeah, we can do that, the mouth swab. I told her, do y'all send in the samples? She said, we can, absolutely. I said, can you give them back to me and I can send them in? She said, absolutely. You can get the samples back, you can get the labels, and you can mail them in yourself, or we can mail them for you. I use the email. It takes too long to get a response. Now I'm doing phone calls. Okay. So if you don't believe me, call your local lab. Look, I'm not saying she got the samples, took them home, disregarded one, and replaced it with another. I'm not saying that. But, I mean,
Ryan needs to realize he lost a paper-thin marriage, not a true connection. People claim she's lied to him, degraded him, and even used him. But Ryan refuses to see it. You could tell him 1,000 times that Gypsy never loved him, and he'd still insist she did. Friends are even saying that if Ryan walked in on Gypsy with someone else in his house, he'd forgive her without a second thought. That's the kind of hold she allegedly has over him. Now, here's the twist. Ryan doesn't speak up much, except when there's something to promote or a chance to make a little cash. Gypsy once said he has a gambling problem. True or not, it's adding fuel to an already blazing fire. Speaking of Gypsy, she's been spilling her own tea, claiming people want her to fail and even wished for her to have her baby behind bars. She's admitted that staying out of prison has been her biggest challenge. Recently, the police showed up at her home, and Gypsy insists it's all lies. She hasn't done anything wrong. But there's a catch. She's on parole and admits she's limited in what she can say or do, even though she claims people are just out to get her. The online hate is relentless. People have called her everything from a cheater to a Jezebel, and some even said part of her parole should have included getting her tubes tied. Ouch. Gypsy's actions, leaving her husband, cheating, and getting pregnant by another man, have made her a lightning rod for criticism. She insists it's not fair, but let's be real. Did she think people wouldn't talk? And let's not forget her family. Gypsy's mom, Christy, is allegedly fine with all of it. But some say that's no surprise given her own questionable past. It's like drama runs in the family. So, what do you think? Is Gypsy misunderstood? Or is Ryan trapped in a toxic web of his own making? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more piping hot gossip.
Oh, jippity dip dip. You know people have cameras, right? People know who you are. Gypsy, if you didn't know, you're famous. If you're out in the Publix, people are going to see us. What the hell is the new town you moved to? Mistreat Me? You moved to Mistreat Me and everybody knows it's. You must still be with Canninator. Did Brian move in with you? Is my Ryan's there? Don't lie. Listen, everybody, I know Krusty said that she's taking care of the baby at nights. That's true. And I'm doing it in the mornings, okay? Gypsy's not doing her parts, and that's about it for now. So she's doing great in motherhoods. She's taking names, okay? I'm just saying, we're all supposed to help out, and it's just me and Christy doing all the works. Brian's still missing. He comes home sometimes, and no job Ken and Gypsy just keep having funs. When do me and Christy get a breaks? We want to have funs. Oh, and Gypsy, I heard people are sniffing around about where you're living. And it ain't me, baby.
This revelation has sparked outrage among fans and critics alike, questioning the lengths Gypsy is willing to go to protect her narrative. The drama thickens as Ryan's voice has all but disappeared from the conversation. Once an outspoken figure in Gypsy's orbit, Ryan's silence now raises eyebrows. What could he be holding back? And why? Social media detectives are already piecing together theories, with many speculating that Gypsy's alleged NDA was designed to cover up damaging truths. Meanwhile, the hacker behind the leaks remains a wild card. Was this an act of justice, exposing Gypsy's behind-the-scenes behavior, or simply a bid for clout? Either way, the fallout could be catastrophic. With each new revelation, Gypsy's empire looks increasingly fragile, and fans are left questioning how much of her online persona is real.
I just finished a video talking about the hacker who supposedly hacked Gypsy Rose. Now, here's the thing. I am blocked by Gypsy Rose, so I thought that he was posting these on Gypsy's actual account. Now, I have heard that he supposedly went live from her account. I don't know. But here's the thing. He's now posting it to a backup account called Rusty Wrist Hacker. And apparently, Nina was able to track him down because he gave others his email address and she found an Instagram. And it leads to a lot of information that a hacker would never have out there. So I don't know what's going on. I personally, I don't know. I'm going to call bullshit right now, I think, on it. I don't think it's true. It's probably another publicity stunt. It just seems weird to me that they would not have contacted TikTok already and got this under control. I don't know. It just seems really, really strange and a little bit too convenient with what's been going on with her accounts in her life. I don't know. It just is all a little too coinky-dink for me. So right now, I say proceed with caution. I certainly would not be sending any money to this fool for any reason, whether he's real or not. And I do believe he's trying to pull a fast one. It's just depending on who's working on the fast one with him, if you know what I mean.
At this point, Gypsy's relationship with Ken was reportedly on shaky ground. Public appearances by the couple had become rare, and rumors of a potential breakup were gaining momentum. Enter the hacker's revelations, an explosive twist that exposed Ryan's private attempts to reconnect with Gypsy. By leaking Ryan's messages, Gypsy turned the narrative on its head, shifting the spotlight onto him. Suddenly, Ryan wasn't just a man reaching out. He was cast as emotionally vulnerable, even desperate. Gypsy's decision to withhold her replies added to the intrigue. Critics argued this move wasn't about transparency, but about maintaining control. It was a masterstroke of narrative manipulation, portraying her as composed and deliberate. Yet, the motives behind this strategy raised eyebrows. Was leaking Ryan's messages her way of silencing him? Ryan, after all, had a reputation for spilling private details about Gypsy, her relationships, including with Ken, and even her stepmother, Christy Blanchet. Meeting Ryan in person added another layer of complexity. Could this have been Gypsy's way of preventing him from publicly sharing secrets that might damage her meticulously crafted image? The hackers claim that Gypsy spent an extended 4 to 5 days at Ryan's house during the festive season, only fanned the flames. If true, this wasn't just a casual reunion. It was a significant event, coinciding with Ken's noticeable absence. The implications of such a meeting are staggering. Was this about rekindling an old flame, gaining control over a volatile situation, or something else entirely? The timing, the context, and the layers of secrecy all point to one thing. In the world of Gypsy and Ryan, nothing is as it seems.
It looks like Gypsy Rose Blanchard has gotten her account back. How? We don't know. I think that this is very interesting, as her being on this app is against the community guidelines. So I think it is really important that TikTok either follows their community guidelines or they don't. I'm not really sure. But anyway, y'all silly folks that threw this girl gifts. Yeah, the hacker didn't get them. She did. I don't know why y'all was throwing the hacker gifts anyway. I mean, that's crazy. So now Juicy is Big Bank Tank for New Year. I'm not laughing because I'm happy. I'm laughing because I just can't believe y'all threw gifts. Like, this is crazy. But anyway, like I said, it is against the community guidelines. Let's go over that real quick. Violent criminals cannot have a TikTok account. So this is a community guideline. And for those of you or us that have an issue with it, I would suggest writing to TikTok directly.
Critics suggest Gypsy might have been playing a long game, leveraging her charm and emotional ties to disarm Ryan, who has a history of exposing her secrets. And let's not ignore the most bizarre twist, Ryan's sudden and uncharacteristic silence. Ryan, known for his blunt commentary on Gypsy's life, from her relationship with Ken to her broader controversies, has gone radio silent. No TikToks, no cryptic posts, no commentary on leaked messages, nothing. For someone who's never hesitated to air his opinions, this quiet streak is deafening. The question is, why? Could Gypsy have manipulated Ryan into staying quiet during their festive get-together, or did something deeper happen behind closed doors? Observers point out that Gypsy has a pattern of reconnecting with people from her past during times of crisis, often using her charm to sway them to her side. Was Ryan's silence born out of lingering affection, a calculated non-disclosure agreement, or fear of being caught in the fallout of Gypsy's ongoing drama? Theories abound, with some suggesting that Gypsy may have framed the visit as a step toward healing, only to strategically strengthen emotional ties. Others speculate that she orchestrated the entire reunion to protect her narrative.
Are we about to witness the actual downfall of Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Allegedly, her family members are saying that she is being canceled by Lifetime. Lifetime is who has been filming her documentaries, and they are now working on season 2. However, allegedly, they are canceling and they will not be working with her any longer. But Gypsy Rose is trying to spin the narrative that she is leaving them because she wants to live a more personal life, which we've heard that many, many times. Her parole officer is supposedly fed up with her. Around 100,000 of her books have been returned, but I really wonder if it's not to do with the supposed pregnancy. Maybe she can't fake it any longer. These are pictures Christy posted, and here you can clearly see her baby bump. But here's another from the same day, same event, same clothes, and there's no bump. I understand sitting in different angles and stuff, the lighting, whatever, but it just doesn't look like there's a bump there. But maybe Lifetime's just tired of the bad publicity, and maybe it's not really that deep. I feel bad for this dog. I can't imagine her taking care of an actual baby.
Possibly even binding Ryan to an NDA. Adding fuel to the fire is Nina's confirmation of Gypsy's stay with Ryan. This wasn't just a casual drop-by. The timing, coinciding with holiday festivities and an apparent estrangement from Ken, suggests premeditation. Did Ryan welcome Gypsy out of goodwill, or did he feel obligated to entertain her presence? The lack of clarity here only deepens the mystery. Some believe Ryan's silence stems from fear, not of legal consequences, but of public retaliation. Gypsy has proven adept at controlling the narrative and discrediting her detractors. Could Ryan be avoiding the spotlight to protect himself from becoming collateral damage? Or perhaps Ryan's feelings for Gypsy are clouding his judgment. His earlier messages hint at emotional vulnerability, leaving room for speculation that he still harbors affection for her. Whatever the reason, the stakes are high. Ryan's absence from the conversation only raises more questions about what happened during those days and how it might impact Gypsy's public image moving forward. Was this a move to shield herself from the fallout of the hacker revelations, or is there a more complex dynamic at play, one blending old emotions with new manipulations? One thing's clear, this saga is far from over. As the drama unfolds, all eyes are on Ryan to see if he'll finally break his silence and share his side of the story. Until then, we're left with a tangled web of speculation, secrets, and unanswered questions, waiting to see what shocking twist comes next. Stay tuned, this is just the beginning.